Hi everyone, welcome to Sports Kati. I'm Rohit here, and with me is Vaishak.
Hi everyone.
I know it's been some time since we did the twin episodes for IPL. Since then, the European football has started in full flow, and we are reaching the end of this long transfer window in football. But unfortunately for both of us, we had personal commitments and could not find time to do a podcast. And I'm still actually busy with my personal commitments for another week. So I really could not prepare much for today's episode. But I believe Vaishak has a plan to discuss the European leagues, and we know this is, you know, more, I would say, slightly late to do a review of the European leagues because the leagues have actually started. So we would not be, I think, sticking to prediction, but we would be doing something what you call as a preview come review. Anyways, let's keep it simple, Vaishak. As I said, let's start with the English Premier League. So Vaishak, what have you prepared, and also give an understanding on how should we discuss this.
Yeah, so I thought like let's not just go into just predicting who's what. I mean that's just put a prediction table. Instead of that, let's just discuss the title challenge, Champions League spots, who are fighting for the Europa League spots, and the relegation fight. And so if you look at English Premier League, for the past 2 years, it has been a race between Manchester City and Liverpool. Even this year, Liverpool and Manchester City looks one bit notch above, every other club in English Premier League. And Liverpool also have improved the squad with, Jota and Thiago. While Manchester City, they have improved the defense, which was their worry last time. They have got Ruben Diaz and Ake. They have also managed to get a decent replacement for Leroy Sané in Ferran Torres, is a very promising youngster from Spain. The doubt over Liverpool is that their squad is thin compared to Manchester City. And this season will be dominated by the teams that have a deeper squad, which is good enough to be rotated. And Pep Guardiola is good at rotating the squad. That is something which we all know. The doubt over Manchester City is that their forwards are very injury prone. So even if they have a deeper squad, effectively, does it come to effect even if you have a deeper squad is the question Manchester City have to answer. Um, Now, if you go to Chelsea, I think they are the next big candidate to be talked about, doing very good in the summer market, really buying some big players and a lot of pressure on proving that. And there were also many people who said that Chelsea might be one of the title contenders. And I was a bit skeptical. I'm saying, can Chelsea get 90 points? And I remember people saying that no, this time it's going to be much more competitive. It's not going to be a 90 points winner. I might be wrong that it might not reach 90 points. It might be still at 80. I don't believe that Chelsea might be able to be in the title race, but I think they're comfortably third. We won't be. I'm not very surprised if they are in the title race, but I myself believe that they will be a step below the title race, but a step above everyone else. That's what I think Chelsea would be. So they will be clearly in the Champions League next season, and the fourth spot for the Champions League. I think I might throw the names of Arsenal, Spurs, Wolves, and United. Wolves, especially because of they have done some interesting business in the summer. And one problem with these clubs that they have their ups and downs in the course of the season. Like Arsenal and United, they have been having it for the past decade. Like the fans get too excited, and then suddenly the club, comes down, and the fans get too depressed, and then the club goes up again. So it's too early to judge United or Arsenal or clubs like that and Spurs or something. But currently, Arsenal look, the favorite for the fourth spot by the kind of way they are playing. Now, the above mentioned clubs, because there are four of them, I think they should be the one in the Europa League spots as well. Now, said that, if one of them, drops up, I think Everton and Leicester City looks more than capable of giving these clubs a real run for their money for the Europa League spot. When I come to relegation, my favorite candidate is Fulham. They look favorites for relegation. I None of the other clubs, really, strike me after seeing them. It doesn't strike me that other clubs as favorite for relegation as Fulham. But I can put some 5 or 6 names in the mix up. Like if you ask me to name, I might say Brighton or West Ham or West Brom or Palace. Um, and I'm not sure which one would it exactly be that will be relegation favorites. The interesting club to watch for me in the Premier League, whatever I watched till now, it's Leeds United. PSL is such an interesting coach. They play such high intensity, and they have a plan. They have a plan, and they have been executing it against the top teams, because they had a really tough fixtures, and they were doing it against the top teams in the Premier League. That's something which makes me exciting. Yeah, I mean, you are the Premier League fan. You have to add something over here, surely.
Oh yes, I agree with most of what you have said there. The title race will be a two-way race again, and I would go ahead and say that for me at least, City are the favorites this time because of a couple of reasons. But firstly, as Vaishag said, City have a bigger squad, and this season that will be really important. Liverpool possibly have the best 11, but their replacements or their squad is, I would say, a notch below. Yes, Thiago and Jota are valuable additions, but in general, I see the squad to be too thin, I would say, and this can affect them. And the other reason why I feel they might struggle is because defending the title in Premier League has been really challenging. And apart from once by Manchester City, no other club has done it successfully in the last 10 years. So I go with City for now for the winners. Anyways, coming to the rest of the teams, yes, I do see Chelsea finishing third this time, given the additions they have had over the summer. Arsenal, Spurs, United, all will be fighting for that fourth spot. And I say, or I expect Spurs will finish fourth, given Mourinho's second year record. And also to be fair to the team they have, it's a really good squad. So I expect them to finish fourth. And as Vaishak mentioned, I expect Leicester and Everton to seriously challenge the top six. Obviously Wolves also in the mix. So I do really see the top half of the table really tightly packed, because I feel that I've mentioned all these teams, and from fourth to, or maybe even third to ninth or 10th would be a real tight race. That's just as the competition for places in general would be more interesting than ever. So that's what I feel about the Premier League this season. In terms of relegation, I expect Fulham and West Brom to go back down. Again, I do not know much about the teams per se, but I feel from what I've read and seen so far, yes, they can put up a fight, but I don't know how much they can, stay up. So I feel them to be the main candidates to go down. The other potential candidates for relegation are Brighton, Sheffield, and Southampton. I've put them in that order. Again, purely because of I would say the teams how they are. Like yes, I mentioned Sheffield. I'll come to Sheffield. I mentioned Sheffield because I feel last time around their system was working perfectly. They were like amazing. They came with this system and they really did surprise a lot of teams. But then you could see that towards the end of the season, you could see the teams were figuring it out. And given they don't have any exceptional individual talents, which is important for teams to stay up, and because they do not have that, I feel that they can struggle because the opponents have already figured out their system or are figuring it out. So I expect them to struggle, and already in the season so far, in the first 3 matches, they've lost all 3 and not even scored a goal, and that's showing what is happening with them. But again, they can surprise us. I'm not saying no. And I love the way they played football last season. And I would be extremely happy if they can actually surprise us and finish high up in the table. Because the way they play football is actually beautiful to watch. Because again, as I mentioned, they do not have any single superstar. So they play as a team, and the style of play is actually good to watch. So let's see. So for me, I'm keeping them as a relegation candidates. To go with exciting teams to watch, I've gone with, I'll say Everton for starters. Everton has started well and they have made some good acquisitions. So I feel they, and especially, and not just because of good acquisitions, and also the form which Calvert Lewin has been displaying towards the, I would say, last half of the season and also the beginning of the season. Two hat tricks already in the cup and league. So I think they have started off well and they have some good players. So I feel Everton has been playing good football and they would be challenging. And if they can stick on to this team, I don't expect them to even challenge the top four. I know it's pushing a bit, but it's possible. Wolves is exciting as always. So they have a good team. They did lose couple of players, but they have come with good reinforcements. So I think they are well, and they always will be a good team. But as Vaishak mentioned, the team which really has surprised me or really has surprised many Premier League fans has been Leeds. Leeds have started wonderfully. And personally, as a United fan, I'm supposed to say I don't like Leeds, but I have to say, it's been amazing watching them. And again, the way they have been playing the high intensity game, I'm not sure like how long they can maintain it. If they can maintain it for long, I'm sure they will be a treat to watch, and they will be a threat to a lot of teams, and they might even finish top half. So it will be fun. And Leeds definitely is a team which will be fun to watch. So that's pretty much my surprise or my fun to watch teams, and that's my overview of Premier League. Okay, so that's from my side. Now let's move to the next leagues. So let's go to Bundesliga, your section.
Let's start with Bundesliga. Bayern, had a very strong performance last season. We all also had a complete episode on Bayern. In fact, yesterday they just bagged all the UEFA awards as well. So it was a dominating performance from Bayern, and by the kind of way they performed, it was ahead of the other Bundesliga teams. What people expected, that when they got Leroy Sané and Dortmund was expected to lose Sancho as well, is that they should be walking through the Bundesliga. But I think that prediction, I don't think, cannot be held anymore. Bayern have lost their loanies. Compared to last season, they had a good squad because they had loanies from Odriozola, Ivan Perisic, Coutinho. They lost them, and they have also lost Thiago to Liverpool, one of their main midfielders. And there is Martinez is rumored to leave. I mean, if it was recorded a day back, I would have said Mikel Coussons left to Leeds United, but unfortunately he failed the medical test. So he's back at Bayern. But Martinez might leave, but it's not a good news for Bayern as well if he actually failed the medical test. So the squad for me in Bayern has got weaker. Even if Leroy Sané has come, it has got weaker. Bayern is even weak in the wings in which Leroy Sané has come. And Leroy Sané himself is injured right now again, is out for 4 weeks. So for me, Dortmund already had a deeper squad than Bayern. Moreover, Dortmund has also strengthened their squad. With the departure of Hakimi, they have replaced with the right back Meunier from Paris Saint-Germain. And they have also got Reiner and Bellingham, some good attacking options, some young good attacking options as well. So as the season progresses, as we all know, it will be the squad rotation that will decide the race. For me, Bayern are still the favorites, but I believe it is much tighter. The race is going to be much, much tighter than we expected. And Hansi Flick is going to be tested on how good he is at squad rotation. One person who's good at squad rotation in Bundesliga is Julian Nagelsmann from RB Leipzig. And he was the one who was fighting as a title contender, but I don't think he will be in the title contention this time. Bayern and Dortmund will be there. So Leipzig has lost Timo Werner, who scored 28 goals last season in Bundesliga, 8 assists, 81 goals that Leipzig, had in the Bundesliga in the last season. It's more than 40%. More than 40% of the Leipzig goals is from the Timo Werner contribution, and they have lost him. So it is a big loss for Leipzig. So I don't think they will be in the title contention because of that reason. But they just like we say in Premier League, they are comfortably in the Champions League spot. I believe Nagelsmann, with the new strikers they have got, Sorloth from Crystal Palace and Huang from Red Bull Salzburg. It was very tough for Leipzig to get a player from Salzburg, we can imagine, because they are both from Red Bull, isn't it? I think Nagelsmann can manage. He has been given a squad, so even though it won't be a title contention, he has shown with his Champions League performance that he can manage the squad. The other team in the Champions League spot for me is Borussia Mönchengladbach, for sure, because they have not lost any of their talent, as they usually do. And they have managed to get a few players. Like they got Wolf, they got Lazaro, and they have increased the squad depth basically. So they have got basically made themselves ready for this season with their European, fixtures as well. Now, the fifth team who fought for the Champions League spot last season was Bayer Leverkusen. But I think Leverkusen have lost their two main attacking players. When it's Kai Havertz to Chelsea and Kevin Volland to Monaco. And that is a big loss. And I think that is why they won't be in the UCL spot. So they will miss it. And that is why Mönchengladbach will easily back the Champions League spot for me. I expect Peter Bosch still to manage. They are still there in the contention with the Europa spots. The other team fighting for Europa League, for me, it should be four teams I would name: Wolfsburg, Hertha Berlin, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Hoffenheim. If asked to pick a team, I would pick Frankfurt as a front runner here, because they do not have European fixtures this season and they have a deep squad. It's almost similar, all of them, but I think Frankfurt is the front runner over here. As I say, even Wolfsburg has got out of Europa League qualification last night. So they also don't have Europa League, but I don't think I don't rate Wolfsburg that high. I think Frankfurt might do better than Wolfsburg this season. They might be more favorite than Wolfsburg to get that Europa League spot. Now, if we get to relegation, everyone have their pick. Whoever watches Bundesliga, that Arminia Bielefeld is a relegation favorite. They are a sure shot candidate for relegation. They have started okay. They won their second match, so now it's just a matter of how many points they make. That's all we are waiting to see. My prediction for the other two spots are Mainz and Köln. Many people have put Schalke, Union Berlin, and Augsburg in the mix, but I believe Augsburg, especially with the start they got, and Union Berlin, they have got enough of their squad to survive. And one of the important thing is that in Bundesliga, the crowd is back, so that will help on Berlin a lot. Because they have such a small stadium, they are really dependent on their fans, and they have one of special stadiums because they have the only stadium in which all three sides of the stadium have a standing balcony. Only one side is sitting. So everyone is standing everywhere, and they have really noisy fans. The stadium won't be full, but I think it's better for a team like Union Berlin, because right now only home crowd is allowed. So their home matches will be filled only with the home crowd, and I think Union Berlin should survive. I think Schalke should start performing better with the new coach. Wagner came last time, and he actually pushed the senior members of the squad outside and said that the youngsters is the way forward. But his plan failed midway, so he had to come back and now say, the senior players who were out on loan or something, they are back, and he's like, no, you are part of the plan. For stability purposes, we need you. And I don't think he lost the dressing room. They didn't buy his plan as much. So I think if the new coach, Manuel Baum, who had done a good work with Augsburg previously, if he comes back and if he can win the dressing room, that should be enough for Schalke to survive. By the way, let me take a view about what is the situation of Schalke over here. After winning a match against Borussia Mönchengladbach on January 17th, 2020, they have not won in the 18 competitive matches so far. So they have either lost or drawn. And they have also broken, they have started this season breaking some Bundesliga records. They are the first team to concede 8 goals on the first match day. and they are the first team to concede 11 goals after the first 2 match days. So it is an uphill task. They might still break some records, but I think Manuel Baum can get them back. The most interesting club to watch this season in Bundesliga has to be Hertha Berlin. Now, not because they have started playing some good football, but they are expected to play some good football by the end of the season, because they have made some very good acquisitions in the last 2 summers, and they are the ones who have spent the most in the Bundesliga this summer. So there is a lot of pressure on their coach, Bruno Labbadia, to prove on the field whatever they have done off field. You are also been playing, the Bundesliga fantasy. So I think if you have anything to add from what you have seen from your experience of watching it.
Yeah, you covered it really well, and given it's the league you follow closely, I do agree with most of what you've said. And I do think Bayern would win it again. But as a neutral, I would like the underdogs to win. So I would like Dortmund to pull off a victory, because Bayern has been winning for continuously for years now. So I would like a change. So I would want Dortmund to win, but I don't know. I think it still looks like Bayern are the favorites and they will win it this time again. I don't have much to add in terms of the relegation candidates or the other teams. Yes, I do follow fantasy Bundesliga, but again, I pick on those players, and rather than following the teams per se, I follow the players there in that case. Anyways, let's move forward. Let's go to the Spanish and Italian clubs, and you can say what you think, how they would be, how the leagues there would be standing.
I'm happy you remember to club it. The both Spanish and Italian. Since I don't watch, I have to keep it short. I don't have much in detail. So no relegation candidates. We are just going on the top of the table. Spanish league is, I think it's very interesting. I think it will be a 4-horse race for most part of the season. It was almost a 4-horse race last time as well. So I think Atletico and Sevilla will give Real Madrid and Barcelona a real run for the title challenge. And I believe, Sevilla and Atletico have got better coaches than what Real Madrid and Barcelona have got. So you can argue that on paper, Real Madrid and Barcelona are still better than Atletico and Sevilla, but Atletico and Sevilla have got better. Yes, before Zidane replaced him. But I think he failed in Real Madrid because he lost the dressing room. And I don't think that same thing, that is his scenario in Sevilla, because he has already won league with Sevilla. He has proved that he has a dressing room with him. And with the acquisition of Rakitic, they have some experience coming as well. And they have got a decent summer transfers. And I think these 4 should run away with the UCL spots as well. So I don't think it's that tough to predict the UCL spots. For the Europa spots, I would predict that Real Sociedad should secure it, because it's a young squad and it's a developing squad, and you always expect them to perform better than what they did last season, despite the fact that they lost one of their most important player in Odegaard. He has gone back to Real Madrid. Villarreal, with their summer transfers, they got Emery back as new coach. It is an interesting prospect. Valencia, on the other hand, have lost the players, so they might struggle, I feel. So if you look at their transfers between Villarreal and Valencia, you can see that as well. But there is too much uncertainty in these clubs, and their managers have a challenging task, both Villarreal and Valencia. And I predict, that they will be in the mix, with the likes of Athletic Bilbao, Getafe, who were there and thereabouts last season as well, for the remaining Europa spots. I would say Villarreal under Emery should be my club, to watch this season, what they do, because it would be interesting to see if Emery can repair the damages he got in Paris and London. Can he repair it back in Spain in Villarreal? If he can get back to what he was meant to do in Paris and London. In Italy, I predict a 3-horse race between Inter, Juventus, and Atalanta. So now the problems with Juventus is that they have a new coach in Pirlo. He has absolutely no experience. He just passed just got the license to be a coach, and there is a lot of skepticism since this is his first job, and that too a big job like Juventus, where they didn't end well. Sarri's term did not end well either. And Atlanta, the problem is they have a much inferior squad on paper compared to the other two. So it is a really challenging task, but I mean, they have started really well as well. I believe Inter are the favorites here because of these reasons. And, bearing, if Conte throws some tantrums in the dressing room and he loses it, Inter should win this, is what I feel. Because they have got good summer as well. Inter have bought decent number of players. UCL spot should be finished by Milan. I feel they have been very smart this summer. They got the players that they got with limited budget. And actually, I would not be surprised if Italy has a 4-horse race with Milan as well. But I would say that Milan is comfortable, finishing in the Champions League spot. For Europa League spot, the Napoli under Gattuso looks strong. Unlike last time under Ancelotti, Napoli has really changed. The player that they lost is Alan, because they were rumored to lose Koulibaly, which they can still might. I mean, I'm saying October 5th is still left, but they have not lost him yet. And they have added Osimhen to their squad, because last season they struggled to score goals. That is what they really struggled. Osimhen from Lille that they have added should add to the goals. So Napoli should be there in the Europa spot, and I think the other spots should be filled by the clubs from Rome, Roma and Lazio. Both of these clubs are dependent on their veteran strikers, the Checo and Immobile. Immobile was the Golden Boot winner last season, and as much as we talk about Lewandowski and everyone, Immobile was a winner. We must remember that. So Roma and Lazio are there and thereabouts. It will be really interesting to see how they perform. The mid-table teams like Fiorentina, Torino, Sassuolo, they have also been performing really good, and so Serie A should be interesting in the mid-table as well this season. And it's pretty hard to predict unless you see a lot, and I don't want to predict anything about the Europa League. But for the team to watch for me in Italy this season is Milan. I mean, everyone would say Atlanta, but Atlanta, we have already watched them in the Champions League. But Milan, I think there might be a new change because of their acquisition of Sandro Tonali. How they line up. Benacer has been in really good form by the end of last season, and Zlatan obviously has started this season brilliantly. What do you have to say about it?
Okay. Again, these are not leagues I closely follow, but with all that have been going on in Barcelona, I expect Real to swoop the La Liga. But then again, it also might be Messi's last season at Barcelona. So even though he has issues with the board, he will want to go out with a bang. He will want to win that one last La Liga title. So I think for me personally, Real should be favorites, and maybe Barca can spring a surprise. That's what I would think coming to La Liga. And again, to be fair, I know Koeman is a highly rated manager, but what he has done in Premier League was not the best. So what I've seen from him has not been that great. So I wouldn't rate him so high. And so let's see what he can do. Maybe, and he has a good record otherwise. So maybe he's good enough, and maybe he can lift Barca to a title. Let's see what there is. And yes, as you said, Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, good teams to finish Champions League and even maybe challenge for the title. Anyways, coming to the Italian league, as you said, for me, yes, favorites. Inter will start as the favorites for sure. Juventus has got all the experience and they are defending champions. They have been winning for some time. But for me, Inter will start as the favorites. Again, for me, I would think it would be a two-horse race because personally, for me, I have seen Atlanta only in the Champions League. I know that I've heard that the style they play is beautiful to watch. And of the limited what I've seen of them play, yes, they are attractive to watch. And the stats which they're shown, I remember the stat where there were some 4-5 attackers with double-digit scoring goals. That's wonderful. So yeah, they are a fun team to watch. They score a lot of goals. But again, I do not know whether they can maintain all this throughout the season and challenge the big two clubs. So I expect it to be a two-horse race. Mainly, at least towards the end, I would expect one of Juventus or Inter to win it. And I go with Inter for now. Again, I haven't watched much of Italian football, so I'm not going into the rest of the teams. But again, as you mentioned, Roma, Lazio, AC Milan for sure. These are teams which will be there. So that is what I feel the rest of the table will lie. I'm not changing from what you have predicted. So I go with what you have said. Anyways, I think it's been a good overview of the top 4 leagues in Europe. So can we conclude it here?
Uh, I mean, let's not insult the French league. Certainly after the last season, the two league clubs qualified for the Champions League semi-finals. Let's keep it short. I mean, I'm not an expert in the French league either. This is surely Paris Saint-Germain's title to lose. But we must also remember they have lost a lot of their squad players this summer, and this season is very well dependent on how you rotate the squad. Additionally, they started losing the first 2 matches in Ligue 1, and a lot of their players can get suspended for the upcoming matches. Like Neymar can get suspended from Ligue 1 for the whole year. He might not play in 2020 anymore. So with the tight schedule, I don't think it will be a cakewalk as people might talk. People might expect from the French league, but it is yet to see, which club will actually give a run for the title. Marseille is one club I would say, just like last season they gave a huge fight, and of course Villas-Boas is their coach. They also did beat PSG, but they also have not started great. They also have had some hiccups after that. I can also give a shout to Rennes, Monaco, and Lyon to fight for the UCL spots. Rennes is at the top of the table and they have started good, and I think they have got some youngsters as well. Last night, I think Rugani from Juventus is joining them on loan, so they are strengthening their defense after losing their goalkeeper to Chelsea. But it will be hard for them. They have the additional European schedule as well as this season. Monaco and Lyon do not have that, so they have an advantage over Rennes in that aspect. But I have to add, Lyon also have had a bad start to this season. As a Bayern fan, I'm very well interested in Monaco's. That's my club to watch in Ligue 1. That's my club to follow in Ligue 1. Monaco, because they are coached by ex-Bayern coach Niko Kovac. They have bought a lot of players this summer as well. We already mentioned Kevin Volland. And they have also managed to retain the core. So, I mean, the last 2 summers, what Monaco had happened to them after playing the Champions League semi-finals is that they have lost players one after the other. And you can see that, there is so many players in the Premier League from Monaco and so many players in the other big teams as well. So they lost their core, and in the past seasons, they have managed to keep the core this time. So I'm quite intrigued to see what Kovac can do with Monaco, how he develops that project. So yeah, that's all from Ligue 1.
Yeah, I mean, no, I did not miss out League 1, but yeah, I expect PSG to win, to be fair. So yes, I agree with you, if the suspensions happen, because I think they're still pending, I believe. I heard 2 matches for Neymar and 4 matches for Di Maria for now, but I did hear that there's a possibility of extensions of these things. If this extensions do not happen, I expect anyways PSG, they have enough squad depth that I expect them to win the League 1. So that's there. Also, I could have added a bit more about the Premier League, I feel, but I think I wanted to ensure that we don't extend time a lot. And again, Champions League and Europa League's groups are out. We can discuss about that maybe in the next episode. So we'll see about that during the next episode. Anyways, I know that we have run through the entire Spanish, Italian, and French leagues very quickly. That is because primarily my experience or knowledge on those leagues are limited. I think I would say in general our experience is limited. So if there are fans watching and are fans of these leagues, then please don't forget to add your opinions to what we have already mentioned. Put your predictions in the comment box. We would like to hear from you, hear what your predictions are, or what your opinions are, or what you think the standings would be for any of the leagues are. So please share your feedback. And if you like our content, like our video, share it with your friends and family. And definitely, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our channel to get similar content. And until next time, stay safe.